Joining us right now is former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor Newt Gingrich. Newt, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks so much for being here.
Good to see you.
So what do you think? What's your reaction here? I mean, Nancy Pelosi and colleagues on the left have been attacking Bill Barr since he took the job. And now this.
Sure. Well, I mean, first of all, Andy McCarthy, who was a former Justice Department lawyer, wrote a very good column on this whole question of how you get to sentencing guidelines, and pointed out that for a nonviolent offender on his first conviction to be given the absolute maximum as a guideline was very unprecedented. And you had four lawyers who were basically anti-Trump, and they had a chance to take a shot at somebody. And so they put together what was, I think, a pretty outrageous decision. And remember, these are guidelines that the judge has to make the final decision. But I think it's perfectly legal for the Attorney General to intervene and say, that's just bad work, and I'm not going to let it stand. And I'm a very big fan of people who look carefully at what's going on. And I think that if you look at some of the things the Justice Department has done, there's a very, very good reason to believe that some elements of the Justice Department have been for years out of control and abuse their power.
Newt, Andy McCarthy, when he was sitting here on set, we were just talking about just the role of the Justice Department when a president's in office. And President Bill Clinton, I'll point out, fired how many 46 U.S. attorneys? Did it not? Or how many U.S. attorneys?
Sure.
It was 93 U.S. attorneys after Bill Clinton first took office.
Right.
If President Trump started cleaning house like that, oh my gosh, we would have Hollywood making horror movies about it.
Well, let me say, first of all, by the way, I think congratulations is in order about your school's visit to North Carolina. So I thought I would get that in for a minute.
Thank you. But again, it's reassigning Lieutenant Colonel Vindman and getting rid of Gordon Sondland. It's the Saturday Night Massacre. That's the narrative. No. President Trump was acquitted of impeachment.
Here's all you have to know. Since 10 o'clock on election night, when it was obvious that Hillary was not going to win, every liberal in America has been programmed to wake up in the morning and say, I know Trump did something terrible. I wonder what it is. And that's how they spend every single day. And so they basically distort the whole process of government, as you pointed out. Ambassadors serve at the pleasure of the president. U.S. attorneys can be fired. These are not shocking things. The Attorney General supervises the Justice Department, and in his supervisory capacity, if he thinks that an injustice is being done, then he has every right to intervene and say, no, that's wrong, we're not going to do that. And I think that it is, frankly, dangerous to be so crazed that you begin to distort the whole process of government.
Well, they're distorting it, but they're also ignoring the real wrongdoing. And, you know, you got to also, though, look at the backlash from within his own party, right? Newt, I mean, Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski says the president, quote, should not be determining what the sentences are. And Maine Senator Susan Collins says the president, quote, should not have gotten involved. There's that. Meanwhile, I haven't heard a word from either of these ladies on what took place in 2016 and how the critics at the top of the FBI and the top of the CIA tried to frame then candidate Trump and spied on him while he was president.
Sure. Well, look, I think part of what frustrates conservatives is you have FBI agents who lied to the FISA court, which is a felony, haven't been prosecuted. You have somebody working for Hillary Clinton who took a hammer to break up, think about this, they took a hammer and they physically broke up the hard drive, which normally I would think counts as obstruction of justice. Nothing happens. I mean, every time you turn around, if it's somebody on the left, there's always an excuse, or they're studying it, or they'll get around to it. But if you are somebody who served the country for 35 years, then you're potentially in real trouble, as General Flynn is, because, after all, you sided with President Trump. If you're somebody who they want to get. And on 2 cases under Mueller, they put people in solitary confinement for a length of time which is clearly physically and mentally dangerous. And they did it, I think, out of being purely vindictive. And I think that's why conservatives believe that the deep state does exist, and that one of the major challenges for the president in the second term is going to be to literally continue to clean house, as they finally are doing now at the National Security Council. They're finally getting around to it at the National Security Council.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, it's good to see you this morning. Thank you.